Are you still running? Discover the rest your soul needs. Hebrews 4:10. Whoever has found this rest will be able to rest from all his work, just as God rested from his works on the seventh day of creation. There is this one moment when you realize that you have been running the whole time, but never really arrived. You have been functioning, doing, planning, rushing, and yet there remains this underlying restlessness, this quiet feeling that something is still missing. The letter to the Hebrews tackles exactly that and says, hey, there is a rest that you can enter, but you have to decide. And that is exactly the point. It is not about whether you will find rest at some point when everything is done, but whether you are ready today to let go of control and really let yourself fall into God's hands. And this is where it gets serious, because not everyone enters this rest. It is not automatic, not a matter of course. The Israelites were already standing in front of the promised land, and yet they stayed outside because they did not trust that God really meant well for them. Trust was the ticket to entry. Distrust was the obstacle. And that is exactly where we are today. We can either continue to want to have everything under control ourselves, or we can decide to enter into God's rest. And that is not just a nice concept. It is a radical change of perspective. God is not calling you to do more, but to finally understand that it has long been done. And this is where the Sabbath comes in. It is not just a break from everyday life, but a weekly reminder that our identity does not depend on performance. A day on which you consciously say, I trust that God is bigger than my to-do list. And this is exactly where the invitation lies. Not just to believe that God's rest exists, but to actively live it. Because those who have truly understood that they have arrived with God can finally stop rushing through life. The rest is there. The door is open. The only question is, will you go through it? Questions for further study or group discussions. 1. What is stopping you personally from finding real rest? External circumstances or inner convictions? 2. Where in your life do you notice that you still want to have everything under control yourself instead of trusting God? 3. What would be a practical step to integrate real rest into your everyday life? And why might it be difficult for you? Parallel Bible texts as slogans. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Isaiah 30:15. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. Psalm 23:2. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Hebrews 4:9. There remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God.